The sun hung high over the dusty streets of Elmwood, a small town where pickup trucks outnumbered luxury cars and everyone knew everyone's business. It was one of those lazy afternoons in late summer, the kind where kids chased ice cream, trucks and laughter echoed from backyard barbecues. But in a split second, everything changed. Before we go deeper, if you believe kindness still matters, if you believe treating every human being with dignity, so please like this video, share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Silent Struggles, and also tell us in the comments where you're watching from. We love hearing from you. Tommy Reynolds, a lanky 17-year-old with freckles across his nose and dreams bigger than his rundown neighborhood, was walking home from his part-time job at the local diner. He carried a backpack slung over one shoulder, humming an old rock tune his dad used to play before he passed away 2 years ago. Tommy's life wasn't easy. His mom worked double shifts at the hospital, and he often skipped meals to make sure his little sister had enough. But he had a quiet strength, the kind that came from carrying burdens too young. Across the street at the park, a group of bikers had gathered for their annual charity ride. Leather vests emblazoned with skulls and wings gleamed under the daylight. Among them was Big Mike, a towering Hell's Angel with a beard like steel wool and eyes that could pierce through lies. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, skipped around his Harley, her pigtails bouncing like springs. She was the light of his rough world, a tiny bundle of curiosity in a pink helmet too big for her head. No one saw the danger coming. A beat-up sedan, driven by a reckless teen texting on his phone, swerved wildly down the road. Tires screeched as it jumped the curb, barreling straight toward the park. Screams erupted. Big Mike turned, his heart freezing as he saw Lily frozen in the path, clutching her doll. In that heartbeat, Tommy didn't think. He dropped his backpack and sprinted across the street. "Lily, no!" he yelled, though he'd never met her. He dove, shoving her tiny body out of the way just as the car clipped him. Pain exploded in his side as he hit the ground, the world spinning in a blur of gravel and shouts. The car slammed into a tree, the driver stumbling out unharmed but dazed. Big Mike roared like thunder, rushing to his daughter first. Lily was crying, scraped but safe. Then his gaze fell on Tommy, curled up, blood seeping through his shirt, from a deep gash on his arm, and ribs cracked from the impact. "You saved her," Big Mike muttered, his voice cracking for the first time in years. He knelt, pressing a bandana to Tommy's wound. Sirens wailed in the distance as neighbors gathered, whispering in awe. Tommy managed a weak smile. "She's just a kid," he gasped. Had to. As paramedics loaded Tommy into the ambulance, Big Mike stood there, a giant of a man, humbled. He pulled out his phone, his fingers trembling. "Boys," he growled into it, "spread the word. We owe this kid everything." Little did Tommy know, as the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in oranges and pinks, that his selfless act had ignited a firestorm of gratitude in the unlikeliest of places. The Hells Angels weren't just a club, they were a family. And family takes care of its own, even if that meant adopting a stranger who bled for one of theirs. In the sterile glow of the hospital room, Tommy lay staring at the ceiling, the beeps of machines a steady rhythm to his thoughts. The painkillers dulled the ache in his ribs, but nothing could numb the worry gnawing at him. His mom, Sarah, sat by his bed, her eyes red from crying. She'd rushed over from her shift, still in her nurse's scrubs. "Oh, Tommy," she whispered, squeezing his hand. "Why did you have to play the hero? We can't afford this." The bills would pile up. Hospital stays weren't cheap in Elmwood. Tommy had been saving every dime from the diner for college, dreaming of becoming a teacher to help kids like his sister escape the cycle of hardship. Now that dream felt further away. But Sarah's face softened as she recounted the scene. "That biker, Big Mike, he stayed until they wheeled you in. Said you'd be taken care of." Tommy chuckled weakly. "Mom, he's a Hell's Angel, probably just being polite." Outside, the afternoon sun filtered through the blinds, casting long shadows. Big Mike paced the hallway, his boots echoing like drum beats. He'd called in favors, but this was personal. Lily clung to his leg, her wide eyes filled with questions. "Is the boy okay, Daddy?" "He saved me like a superhero." Mike scooped her up. "Yeah, Petal. He's tough. And we're gonna make sure he knows we got his back." His phone buzzed. Non-stop. Text from the chapter. Riders from across the state. Word spread like wildfire through the biker network. A kid had taken a hit for one of their own. Respect demanded action. By evening, as the sun set in a blaze of gold, Tommy's room filled with unexpected visitors. First came a couple of local riders, dropping off a care package, snacks, comics, even a stuffed bear for his sister. Tommy blinked in surprise. Thanks? But why? One biker, a grizzled vet named Jax, grinned. Kid, you shielded Mike's girl. That's family now, Tommy. Felt a warmth he hadn't known since his dad was alive. But it was just the beginning. The twist came that night. Sarah stepped out for coffee, leaving Tommy alone. A soft knock, and in walked a woman he didn't recognize, elegant, with silver hair and kind eyes. I'm Elena, she said. Big Mike's ex-wife, Lily's mom. Tommy's brow furrowed. Ma'am? She sat, her voice steady. Mike's not all leather and thunder. He was in the military once, lost friends in the war. That's why the club means everything to him. But you reminded him of the good in people. She paused, tears glistening. Lily's got a rare condition, her heart's weak. Mike rides for charities to fund research. That park event was for her. Tommy's eyes widened. He'd thought it was just a casual gathering. I didn't know. Elena smiled. No one does. Mike keeps it private. But your act? It hit home. As she left, Tommy lay there, the day's events replaying. He wasn't just a hero to a biker. He'd touched a hidden vulnerability. Outside, Mike rallied his crew under the streetlights. By dawn, he vowed, when we show this town what brotherhood means. Engines revved in the distance. A symphony building. Tommy drifted to sleep, unaware that the morning would bring a spectacle that would change everything. The first rays of dawn pierced the horizon, turning the sky from inky black to soft blue. Tommy stirred in his bed, the pain a dull throb now. His mom dozed in the chair, exhausted. A low rumble started outside, like distant thunder rolling in. At first, Tommy thought it was a storm, but it grew louder, vibrating the windows. Sarah jolted awake. What on earth? They peered out the hospital window and Tommy's jaw dropped. The parking lot was transforming into a sea of chrome and leather. Motorcycles poured in, Harleys, choppers, cruisers, riders in vests from chapters far and wide. One by one, they parked in neat rows, engines cutting off in unison. 200, a nurse whispered from the doorway, her eyes wide. They say 200 Hell's Angels. Word had spread overnight, texts, calls, social media. Riders from neighboring states had hit the road at midnight, converging on Elmwood to honor the boy who'd saved Lily. Big Mike led the pack, Lily perched on his bike in front. He dismounted, waving to Tommy's window. The boy waved back, stunned. But the real twist unfolded as the bikers formed a line. They weren't there to intimidate, they carried signs. Thank you, Tommy. Hero of Elmwood! And baskets, overflowing with donations. Jack stepped forward, addressing the growing crowd of hospital staff and townsfolk. This kid put his life on the line for one of ours. We don't forget that. They unveiled a check, a massive one, literally from their charity fund. For your medical bills, college, whatever you need. The amount? Enough to cover everything and more. Tommy's eyes filled with tears. But why me? Mike approached the window, his voice booming. 'Cause kid, in a world full of takers, you gave without asking. You saw my girl as just a child. Not the daughter of some roughneck. Lily toddled over, handing Tommy a drawing through the open window, a stick figure boy with a cape, shielding a little girl. The emotional climax hit like a wave. As the sun climbed higher, bathing the scene in warm light, Mike shared his story publicly for the first time. Lily's fighting a battle most don't see. This ride, it's for kids like her. But Tommy, he fought for her without knowing. That's real courage. The crowd murmured, then applauded. Tommy, from his bed, felt a surge of emotion. Pride, gratitude, connection. He'd always felt invisible, but here, under the daylight, he was seen. One rider, a young woman with tattoos snaking up her arms, added, "We're not angels by name only. Sometimes we live up to it." Laughter rippled, but the moment was profound. Townsfolk who'd feared the bikers now shook hands, barriers crumbling. Tommy's heart swelled. This wasn't just about him. It was a reminder that heroes come in all forms. Quiet boys, tough bikers, single moms. As the group posed for photos, engines ready to roar off to their next charity stop, Tommy whispered to his mom, "Kindness comes back, huh?" She nodded, tears streaming, in ways you never expect. As the morning sun fully claimed the sky, the Hell's Angels revved their bikes one last time, a thunderous salute echoing through Elmwood. Tommy watched from his window, a smile breaking through the pain. The parking lot emptied, but the impact lingered like the warmth of the daylight. Weeks later, Tommy was back on his feet, scars fading but the memory etched deep. The donations had cleared the bills, and with the extra, he enrolled in community college, pursuing that teaching dream. Lily visited often, her laughter filling his home. Big Mike became an unlikely mentor, teaching Tommy to ride a bike, not a Harley yet, but a start. The town changed too. Prejudices softened. The bikers' charity rides became local events, drawing crowds. Tommy's story spread online, inspiring posts about everyday heroes. "You don't need a cape," one viral video said, showing the dawn gathering. "Just a heart." But the deepest twist? Tommy learned Mike had been like him once, a kid from nothing, shielding his own sister in a street fight years ago. That's what drew Mike to the club, a family forged in loyalty. "We all got wounds," Mike told Tommy over burgers one afternoon. "But shielding others? That's what heals them." The emotional peak had shocked Tommy, but the heartwarming truth endured. One act of selflessness rippled outward, bridging divides. In a world quick to judge, kindness revealed the humanity in us all, bikers and boys alike. As Tommy walked the park paths again, sun on his face, he spotted Lily playing. She ran up, hugging him. "You're my guardian angel," she said. Tommy laughed. "Nah, kid. We're all angels when it counts." And in that simple moment under the clear daytime sky, the message shone bright. Selflessness isn't about glory. It's about seeing the light in others, even in the shadows. It turns strangers into family, wounds into bonds, and ordinary days into stories of hope.